Hey everyone, my name is Dianne. I am a clinical psychologist, and today I'm going to talk about two different types of processing styles. Now, everybody falls into one of two categories. We have internal processes and we have verbal processes. And this is a reflection of how people tend to process emotional experiences that they have. So, verbal processes tend to peak really quickly, and how they process experiences and emotions is in a very unfiltered way. And so thoughts come into their mind and come out of their mouth pretty much at the same time. And there's not a whole lot of filtering that happens in between that. They tend to peak really, really quickly. So they'll go from 0 to really intensely activated in a very short space of time. And what that looks like is they will verbally process their experiences. And so they can tend to be quite volatile and will want to talk about things immediately. They don't like time and space to sit with the discomfort. When discomfort comes up, they're processing it really quickly. What we also see about verbal processes is they come down just about as quickly as they peak. So they will peak, they will verbalize everything that they're feeling, they will tell you exactly what they're thinking and feeling. And then they also come down from that really, really quickly. And they can be really upset with you in one moment, and the next moment are kind of, hey, let's be friends again, as if nothing has happened. If you know somebody like that, if you function like that, there is a really good chance that the way that your brain needs to process experiences is through verbalizing it. Internal processes tend to process things really silently in their own thoughts. And so when they have difficult emotional experiences, they tend to withdraw, they go really quiet, they will not tell you what is happening in their minds. And that's because they are spending a lot of time reflecting on what it is that's happened, making meaning of that. And as they're doing that, their brain is processing all of the emotions attached to those experiences. Now, internal processes, unlike a verbal processor who peaks really quickly, internal processes will kind of zigzag up slowly over time. So the uncomfortable emotions will come up, and then they'll kind of think about it for a little bit, and then the emotions will go up some more, and then they'll think about it a little bit more. And so over a period of usually around 3 days, depending on the intensity of the emotion, we'll see that emotional discomfort, as they're processing really silently and really internally, will slowly but surely be climbing its way up to a peak. And then they will slowly but surely come down from that peak, as opposed to the verbal processor who will say, I'm resolved, let's move on, can we be friends again? Internal processes tend to dwell on things for a little bit longer, and they really just need a little bit of extra time to work that out for themselves. Now, an internal processor may or may not choose to share whatever it is that they have processed and been through and experienced. Usually this happens if they do choose to share, it will be after they have figured out exactly what happened, why that they felt that way, and generally they'll wait until they have figured out their own solutions to let anybody in on it. And then they tend to tell people in a very matter-of-fact way, by the way, I was going through something last week, it's okay now, I've resolved it for myself. It can be really useful to be mindful of what type of processor you are, what type of processor you're having a conversation with, what type of processor you're in a relationship with, and be respectful of what it is that that person needs primarily to get themselves through the emotional experience. So for verbal processes, we might need to learn to give the internal processor a little bit of time and respect that. They need time and space to process. And if they want to, if they feel comfortable enough, they will share their process with you afterwards. For internal processes, it's learning not to take things personally and creating time and creating space and permission for the verbal processor to say what they need to say and verbalize in the way that they do, understanding that that is them going through a process, not necessarily a reflection of them speaking truth. And so you have to take it with a little bit of a pinch of salt. What type of a processor are you? Drop me a comment. Let me know in the comment section which category you fall into. If you like this video, feel free to share it and subscribe if you would like more content like this.